Right?
Yeah.
The pillar does actually provide a substantial issue for her, and it's also one of the picks that I think can struggle into Aurora in the late game, where Drink is pots. And now aiming is actually at a decent risk. There's no summoners available though, so this will be very telegraphed.
Yeah.
He should be able to hit two if they'll let him.
Well, the hook is going to come through here as Kellen is going to try and walk this one out. This is kind of embarrassing and weird. It's a bit of a strange scenario. As the headbutt comes through, there's the flash forward. Aiming kind of gets caught on minions, but still gets that first blood. The back comes through for Diablo to get him out of there, but I wouldn't...
get in range as, we do have the classic Zinzao top dive.
Yep, Xiu going to try and hold these minions. Flashes to get himself away as Raptor tanks up the turret just beautifully. BNK are on the board. Earl really didn't like that minion.
Oh, Talia does have the wall, is roaming towards this top side.
There's the flash up pole from Kellen as Lucid does need to flash to get himself out of the way. Kellen is relatively low, only level 4. As Vikla now looking to clear out some vision himself. Lucid looking to rotate over. Showmaker comes in, rocks her down.
To flash.
Yep. There's no seismic shove to land, so does have to flash to get himself out of the way. And that is a big tool now missing. The wall down as well. That should mean that Lucid can just come over, take these grubs. As here's an ulti onto Xiu. Let's see whether he can get out of this one. He is Aurora, so it should be all right. Clear misses a button.
Lucid and Showmaker, I should say, then got the follow-up collapse onto Vikla as a punish for his attempted roam. Already the ward clear. I feel like if he didn't clear the ward, he probably could have just walked back to lane and be fine. And it's going to be 2 grubs going over to DK and a single one going over to BNK.
Yep. So that is going to be 1 objective over to DK. The dragon still hasn't been touched. As, of course, Raptor did go over there. We did have that extraordinarily long-lived Chemtech Drake. Yeah, and Dundun told us that it's pretty scary. This is also scary, though, as aiming, looking to try and take down the cow, but Beryl is also in trouble. Diablo now flashing to follow Beryl, who decided that he wanted to go into that brush to die. And now Raptor's coming in, but Diablo's in so much trouble. The barriers come through, and there is the auto to pick it up. Not sure about the flash there from aiming, but picking up a double feels fantastic.
Yeah, I think aiming flashed there to ensure he would have gotten the kill, right? Like, he knows he's dead. He sees the Zinzao. As we know, was just...
That's probably what he was looking for.
Yeah. And there, aiming...
Oh.
He does have to pay with his life as the hook buffer, but he doesn't have flash.
Yeah, he's still very dead. So Beryl is going to die. It's Kellen that locks down that kill. Portal combat. Yeah. If only also he wasn't there in front of 4 people. That could have also been a positive, but we don't know how that occurred.
I think that was just a trap being set up, right? And looking, they got the dragon, so that might have just been a...
Oh, teleport's coming in here.
Raptor.
Yeah, could be in a lot of trouble. Does have the Crescent Guard. May need to use it. We'll see whether he does. As he doesn't, he just slinks away. Not necessarily out of the woods just yet, because Beryl has come back from the dead and is now looking to take him down. Yeah, that Crescent ain't guarding anything. Very similar times. And the gold lead is non-existent. It's barely there. There is some feats of strength to look out for, and maybe a bit of a battle here as well. As the pillar goes down once again, Raptor is frustrated by this Trundle. Does have to use the ulti.
Yeah, that's old for pillar. That's a good trade, Atlas.
That's a pretty good trade.
Yeah,
that is take a bit of extra time. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. As all right, Xiu going to come on over and take down this cannon minion, and Clear is just being as annoying as possible. This burst damage is starting to stack up, though, now the Leandris is completed for Xiu. More of Malmortius going to get a lot of value as, hook going to connect here onto Diablo. Does stop the ulti, but does do a lot of damage here as aiming. Wall comes down. Nice seismic shove as they're looking for the dive. The barrier gets so much done, though, and Vikla is just dead. Kellen now looking for the wraparound, finds a headbutt pole. Wind becomes lightning as aiming is just standing his ground, but he will die in the end. Beryl goes down as well, and BNK avenged their mid laner.
Actually, a huge win there for BNK. It looked like with Vikla unceremoniously dying for something.
Yeah, but it allows things to stay relatively even. As Beryl is throwing a hook at Clear.
He's winning, 4 levels down.
As he generally would. Aiming is also Valkyrieing towards him. Raptor's going to turn up, and Beryl may just be dead, guys. Yeah, public execution going to come on through, and it was definitely an execution. Do you know what he was doing, though? Buying time.
No,
so they could take the dragon. Double dragon, so incredibly important. It's a Hextech soul as well. Beryl just 2 steps ahead.
He could have done that without dying. He could have just
Yeah,
waited in the brush and
but he
Fred-
demonstrated that he had the commitment to die for the cause, and sometimes that's even more important.
We're quite deep here, BNK.
Yeah, Raptor is pretty far forward. Does like to use his ultimate and is going to do so again. Kellen may need to use his as well, and he does so as we're going between the worlds. And she was just going to put the cow in the ground, aiming now, Valkyrieing after Clear, who flashes away. And Lucid going to have to disengage from this one as Diablo does turn up. Now Raptor's coming back around, but remember, he doesn't have the ulti anymore. The flash forward from aiming will secure the kill onto the Xin Zhao. And now the wall is going to serve as disengage. And Shiyu is going to buffer that one nicely. Beryl, if you had hit that hook, you would be dead.
Then Clear gets effectively taken out of this fight. And what really gets me is that could have been enough. You know, we just take those sums, but oh, we gotta keep going, Atlas!
Yep. Time for a Herald team fight, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're doing. Everyone grouped up and ready to go. Got some ultis just about to come back up. Shiyu doesn't quite have his yet, and he may not be able to use it because he's so close to dead. Between Worlds does finally go down, though, as he's bouncing between and picks up a double! And he just needed to wait those couple of seconds, and that was enough as DK run over the fight, and they're looking for the Herald as well.
And the bunny just bouncing around the team fight, kind of throwing off BNK. So already primed the other way. As we take another look here.
2-1. And actually just has it up when he needs it. Pretty impressive.
Good use of the stealth there as well. And with Leandri, she do so much damage in the early fights. And this was one of Shiyu's biggest did calibrate it here.
We saw it in that game that he got a pentakill.
Yes.
Like the entire early game was just that, as Hook is going to get shielded here by Diablo. As the wall comes down, Lucid says, no, Shelly will get the value. And she is going to march her way towards this bottom lane and look for an angle here. Speaking of angles, Showmaker going to have to get over that wall as the turret goes down. Very nicely played there.
I don't know about Rise Group.
Yeah, I like that we're applying some Legend Group knowledge, thinking, you know, to this Rise Group game. But now Kellen could find himself in a bunch of trouble. Wow, aiming's burst damage, just absurd. And Kellen, you got to press that R button way earlier, buddy.
Yeah,
that's what I learned from this.
I really do think that our Alistairs...
Scary. Diablo has done a decent job keeping up, despite the fact that he doesn't have 6 kills.
Yeah, the Cole makes a big difference there.
Yep.
As well as the plates.
That Beryl. Beryl.
Well, that's actually a big deal. They could try and make an Otacon play off of that.
Well, now we've also got aiming possibly getting caught out of position here as Diablo. Oh my god, the damage here from aiming doesn't find the rocket, but still gets the kill onto Diablo. They do kill aiming, so it is a 2-for-1 in the end.
Which means that right now they don't have vision. The question mark breaks are going to go through. And now it's kind of a win-win. Because either you might be able to pick up Otacon for just a single Drake, which you're very happy with, or BNK feel like they need to defend the Otacon and it might set up a big trap as Showmaker. I was kind of expecting him to maybe wait and try and set up something, but the poke is going to come through. Yeah,
there is the seismic shove onto Lucid, trying to get his health back, and in goes Clear, finding an angle onto Showmaker right now. Diablo so incredibly low though, and Clear can't frontline, and now it's aiming, finding the double with the rocket. This guy is really on form today. Aiming is just so bloodthirsty.
And it feels like so many of the case...
okay, Showmaker's like, oh, I like this fighting thing. Oh, okay.
I'm involved!
PvP! Okay!
So that's Soul. That might very well just be game, which is a little bit anticlimactic, but let me break that down. For DK in particular, so many of their fights, this split, have been either Barrow or Lucid goes in, gets focused, and dies. And then the fight is just over. And they've learned to harness that power. Because I feel like now, and obviously I'm somewhat memeing, but it does really feel like in situations like that, it's about how much you can get out of it. We actually saw Nongshim do this yesterday, as I'm sure Beryl is just gonna go down here.
Well, he's fighting 2 people. Showmaker is looking to make his way over. Beryl will flash towards him here, but Raptor's still gonna be able to finish him off. Jungle for support, probably worthwhile if they're able to get this kill. As Crescent Guard comes on through and Showmaker is able to lock that one down. Now Lucid's found Kellen, who does press the R button early. You love to see it. Gets the headbutt back onto Lucid as well, who flashes out of the way to avoid being shoved to his death. But that is going to be that 1-for-1 trade, but it's so much better here for DK.
That's important though, because if Lucid goes down, They can't go for the objective, but because he doesn't...
Oh man, this comp does so much damage to Baron as well, it's kind of obscene.
It is. As attempted, that's Aurora, guys.
Yep. And he is just going to go between the worlds here. Vikla does pop off the wall, but that seismic shove left a lot to be desired. In the meantime, the Baron will be taken down, and Clear finds himself in such an awkward position. Diablo, wow, it's a battle for who can be in the most awkward position. Diablo's going to take the award just after getting another reward today. That's pretty cool. As Kellen, he's also dead, and Showmaker going to finish that one off, sends his Sand Soldiers forward. And yeah, this is all over but the crying as DK looking to mop things up.
DK game one, coming in strong in this best of 5 Atlas. As everyone knows, doesn't really tell us too much, but it does feel like in this first game, a little bit of a back and forth early on. And credit again, I think, to the fact that Vikla was able to make a much bigger impact than Showmaker. But when it got to the actual fights, it wasn't really ever close. I feel like the 5v5s have been...
They've taken the Baron. Now they're taking the Otacon. There's a 4,000 gold Rebel Baron power play that is going to put the gold lead at 8,000. They have everything. This is like... In 3 minutes' time, there is the possibility... Okay, Raptor is, oh, wow, not Crescently guarding very much of anything at all. As the rocks do go down, Aiming does try and get him. Oh my god, okay. Boom goes the Dynamite. Vikla also about to die as well, but Aiming could be in trouble, finds a triple, the Pulverize to take him down. Beryl is likely to die as well, but the Empress Divide is finally going to come in, and that is going to spell the end of this fight. The ace comes through for DK, and they can walk through that top door to get themselves the win.
And that is, you get Aiming, but you give up everything. Unfortunately for BNK, and BNK, credit to them, they're always going to be looking for an angle.
Yeah.
And in this game, unfortunately, I think there weren't a lot of good angles. At this point, had to try. In game number 1, I think as close and clean and calculated as we're going to get, but